Welcome to Modern Mystic Messages. I'm Teresa, and I want to thank you for clicking on the video, stopping by to spend some time with me today. And whatever time you find this message, this is going to be a timeless reading, I do believe. And it is something very special to me. It's a little bit different. We're going to start with a quick prayer, a little bit of sound therapy here, and then I will explain to you what I have laid out on the table as well. So, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, we ask your guidance and direction over this reading and message. Yeshua, Saint Germain, Thoth, we ask your guidance and direction and presence over this message today, as well as the Orishas, all beings in the highest white light have messages for us here today. Please and thank you. Ashe. So it is. Family. This reading was prompted. If you're actually seeing it on the video on here, it is by consent. I had a conversation earlier today. I'm going to try to be very generic because I understand that I think some of the messages that are going to come out are going to be beneficial to a group of people that I have had similar kinds of thoughts about what some of the things that I think may come out in this reading. But it was someone I love very much who is, like all of us, kind of struggling with this walk. And as I was sitting outside, kind of got in my head in meditation a little bit, and I started thinking about, like I say, not just that individual, but like the larger picture of things. And so basically, most of my readings have kind of sort of leaned toward, there are some collective messages, but lately it's been leaning more so towards divine feminines. Just the way the messages have been coming out. But this one I believe is specifically for divine masculines, and it's a particular niche of divine masculines that I want to address. And primarily, if I had to target an age range, and again, it can apply either way, and it can even apply to females that are in that divine masculine energy or in having to stay shifted. They're wanting to balance their divine feminine energy, but for whatever reason are still kind of in masculine energy out in the world. But what I'm seeing here is particularly for divine masculines, primarily of the age group kind of entering out of like youth into middle age, late 20s, probably into around age 40 or so. It just, because there's an energy here. When I initially had the other decks, pre-cleansed them and everything, but a confirmation that I had gotten from something completely unrelated to this reminded me. My Orisha deck had kind of been calling to me softly a couple of days ago, and I ignored it because I was doing some other readings, but it made it clear that they wanted to come out and speak. So I shuffled them with the intent of the person that I care about to see if I could get a message, and I pulled it a little differently than most of the suggested spreads in that deck, but I pulled 6 cards in one of the configurations that they mentioned and came up with these. And it's a heavy message, but it kind of goes exactly where my thoughts and meditation were going. We start out here with Oshun, and Oshun is the goddess of beauty and sensuality. She's the goddess of sweet waters. So she is the Orisha. Well, Orishas are not truly goddesses. They're more like what we would consider angels in the Christian theosophy or pantheon. However, Oshun is considered, she's over like the sacral chakra and sensuality and beauty and riches and all of that. So this is somebody that's in their prime, attracting their prime, wanting to attract prime, and wanting to find position in the world. The 4 of Earth, this goat is striving to be the goat, yes. But in doing so, look, stuck kind of here. I don't know if you can see this, but standing on business and standing on their money, but in trying to hold down their money, they're just stuck on the top of this hill. And then in comes the devil. And the devil in this deck can actually be outside forces, people, energy. This is wickedness. This is stuff literally trying to hold you back. But guess what? Your Orishas, of all the Orishas that could come out in this deck, at first I was wondering, I was like, okay, I'm drawing for a male energy. And the only Orishas that really popped out of the deck, but I'm loving it, are my girls Oshun and Oya, Yansa in this deck. These are two of my primary guiding Orishas. Yemaya is the third. But Oshun is over, like I said, that sensuality, the softness, that cups energy. But this right here is the female warrior. Oya is the Orisha of the storm. So you do have some assistance here, acknowledging this is not easy. This is a tough way to go. Further amplified by this Five of Water. In this deck, this is literally somebody that is trying to hold on and pull themselves up out of a muddy, mucky thing that's sucking them, trying to suck them in, and literally has leeches on him, sucking him dry. I ain't even gotta interpret the cards. It's right here. They showing you what's happening. You're literally you're waking up in the matrix, understanding that the things that you want are not unreasonable. The goals that you want, you're not even trying to go shoot for superstardom, that all of that fantasy lifestyle out there. You want to hold it down and have a real life, and are having a hard time putting that together, getting your money right, your love right, and you literally have opposition coming around all corners because you're waking up in the matrix and realizing nothing is as it seems, and you don't know how to hold position with that. It's hidden. The moon. It's obscure to you right now. But we're going to pull some cards and see if we can get some clarity. And I'm actually going to wind up doing two readings. This one has gotten into a few minutes of this one. We are going to look at the regular cards, and then, well, I ain't gonna say the regular, the more familiar decks, and then I'm gonna go into a specific soul helper deck also while I'm in this energy, or to come into to ask the question later. I'm gonna get these off the table because those are just, that's a deck that I don't use very often. I've never used it on the channel, only primarily for myself up until now, but they wanted to speak, so here we go. In fact, it doesn't matter. Let's do this because we got the heavier news. We're going to clear the energy a little bit before we pull this next set of cards and see where we're going. And I strongly suspect they ain't going to let us go too far because, again, I don't really get to decide. Sage is so heavy, I can't really smoke it up heavy tonight. My roommate is in. The Palo Santo is okay, so we're going to go there. Okay. And I did pre-shuffle and cleanse all of these decks as well. Let's get ready for this to see where we go. What was that? Spring, that's a timing card. Oh, okay. We start out with exile, divergence, and creation. This is about your spiritual transformation. And I kept hearing, in fact, I don't even know how I'm sitting down thinking of video titles before I even sat to pull the first card, but I was hearing, what does spirituality in the modern world look like? And I think for a lot of people, that is like the crux of it, because you hear about law of attraction and manifestation, but you're just trying to make some money and get your car right and your woman right. And if you got kids, keep them fitted up. You ain't really got time to work, because most people think spirituality is sitting on the side of a mountain somewhere going om forever and hours upon a time. And so you kind of hesitated about walking down the quote unquote spiritual path. Church probably done left a bad taste in a lot of your mouth, and that's fine, because some people will leave it when they will or won't. But and we're coming out here with Mars energy, that hot passion, lust, anger, attraction, vitality. But it is a masculine, you're in the Mars energy, but we got control here, sabotage, conflicts, mood swings, trust issues, manipulation, and patterns. But you ain't giving up. There's soulmate energy here. Decisions, a proposal, integration of yin and yang energies. So, and again, that's the key. That's the rub. There in the Orisha deck that we pulled, I cleansed the energy, but then gonna turn right back around and mention it. But I need to, because that goat card, when I was reading the mention of it, there was something in there they said about getting to the top. And yes, it may be a rough climb, but you're going to get there. But it said you may sleep alone, and at least for a while, And I think a lot of times, let's be real, those men that we see, the older gentlemen that are getting the hot babes, that's got this whole male-female controversy twisted, because all these delusional females think that men got to make $500,000 a year. Those dudes spend a lot of time alone getting there. So they play a little bit with the toys that they like to acquire, which becomes these women that play that game. But that is a layer of the matrix that has spread to folks that ain't economically up to the challenge, and created an issue that is not translating well in real world time. It's giving you pitiful choices in the world as you strive to not only build an empire, but to find someone to hold it down and build with, a divine feminine. But the way to attract that is to be it first. Integrate yin and yang within yourself. Have faith. It's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay. Yet still, you must do exactly that, because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never imagined were possible. Yes. What else is coming out of the Akashic deck? That was nice. See it through. You don't always finish what you start and then talk badly to yourself because of it. Break the karmic pattern by seeing a project through to the end, and then be proud of what you accomplished. Compassion. You're being asked to be kinder to yourself. To give yourself a break. Instead of being a taskmaster, a bully, and a horrible friend, be a loving comforter who always has your back. All right. I ain't got to say it. Spirit said it for me. Because a lot of that, there are outside conflicts and all of that, but a lot of it is it's the fear. It's what caused you to go into exile in the first place. You know you're different. You know you want to create something different. You're a lotus trying to find your way up through the muck and the mud to blossom into the perfect flower in that Mars energy. But it's going to happen. It's happening. You just don't see enough of it. When you get reminders of the reality of the mess around you, and you're trying to find a way to break free, it it does put you in a weird space sometimes because, like you say, are you crazy for wanting something different and seeing something different and looking at things different? No, you're not. It's just that from your current energetic space, not enough people are in the energy that you're striving for. So there's a lot of kick around you as you try to jettison away from that layer of the muck. Toil and labor. Right now, you getting your grind on. That's all you can do. Get it. I completely get it. I have a lot of respect for men that are trying to find a space in this world where toxic masculinity is waved around like a flag, but in truth, most of the toxic masculinity that's happening on this planet is being expressed from females that are stuck in an imbalanced masculine energy instead of embracing their divine feminine. And then they lash out at the very men that they want to connect with in ways that make them extremely unattractive to the men that they're trying to attract. And y'all are caught in the middle of it and getting seen as the bad guy. I get it. Because you got to hold on and stand on your business and stand on your coins. Because if you don't, in the current environment out there in these sectors of the matrix, it's going to be a problem. But here's the thing. When you start vibrating higher, before community weighs you down, once you receive this divine message, I believe that this is what it's denoting, that's going to help you get to a different stage of your development, a different type of community. You're going to be gifted with something. Yeah, you got to cut that false person out. I was trying so hard not to see that thing early. Look at here. Look here. Yeah. There they go. Now this is getting ready to get bigger because I just refuse to close a reading on a false person. We can't do it. We can't do it. We can't do it. Thank you, Spirit. Change was the one that was there. So some of you really, really do have some folks around you that are not in your camp. I don't care how bright they smile and how not, they ain't got your back. It is not for your good. Honestly, this is in the center as a promise, I believe. But if something doesn't change, these people right here, this could literally flip. This false person could lead not only to further despair, but truthfully, literal bad health. Fated meeting. Ooh, okay. Setting your course. Thank you, Spirit. We need some relief here. The chess game. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes. Okay. Ha ha. I love it. Wait a minute, I'm going to show you. Yeah. Is there something else that can clarify that? Oh, okay. All right. So, okay. That kind of okay, I get it. Now, toil and labor isn't fun. It's the working from your have to instead of your want to. However, if you can get past this stuff, this false person that we saw before, that devil energy and the all of that, the leeches sucking at you, and you're going to, you can, and I reason because false person here is clarified by the King of Roses in reverse. The King of Roses is like the King of Cups. And that's soft and loving and all of that good energy. But in reverse, you're going to get some grit and you're going to see through this. You're going to get the message. And you're starting to set your course. Now, like I said, I believe there's in this chess game, there's going to have to be a changing of the guard as far as community. But then community comes up here again. So, again, I think in shifting communities, you're going to be able to overcome this. And the reason I say I believe these are blanketing and overcoming those is because here we have the Queen of Roses coming in as a gift or clarifying the gift, and despair is covered by Archangel Michael. Now, the ascent with this change, ain't nobody said it was going to be easy. It wasn't easy when the goat was standing on the hill with them other cards. But a change is coming. It is up in the air, and it does have to do with your intricacies in industry. Now, but again, it's finding a way to switch from this toil and labor to more of the occupation card. In this deck, occupation is still about earning your coin, but it's earning your coin from a space of doing something you love. Finding a way basically to make as you start making these changes, appreciating and stepping into this divergence is going to help your creativity blossom with this Mars energy behind it. Once you get past this control, sabotage stuff, which you're going to figure out how to heal, you are setting your course. It'll happen. And I forgot music here. I'm so sorry, but I'm too far into the reading now to not to go into that. But yeah, once you see it through, I believe you can make a shift here. And I think that's what the cards were trying to show you. Spirit sees what you're up against. But when you get to those points where you don't think that you're making a difference, please understand that you are. And you look at here. And the divine masculine, the man, came right up out of this deck. First card up. There's a time factor, and it do have to do with things close to your hearth and home. That is literally a home, the home card, as well as something about a public aspect to it. Maybe that fated meeting is going to be in public, or something you do as you get out of, like you say, come out of your exile place and in your healing, start reshaping community somewhere in that. And we have Park here with the owls. That came out before in a reading I did before. There's a lot about people that are being called to share their spiritual journey or whatever as they're breaking out of the matrix, kind of waking up and understanding this thing, sharing it, the hidden information, the downloads, the whatever you're getting as you get into meditation and start manifesting these things. Sharing it is going to basically lead to new community and a change of your trajectory. This compass is literally it's direction, showing you direction and a change of direction. And definitely need to, because like I said, thank goodness we were able to overshadow that bad health thing, because yeah, the community you currently in is leading to that. Yep, look at here. And I love the way these cards play together. With this false person, we got cutting it loose with the scythe. That is definitely for winnowing or cutting away, period. And with ascent and change, this boat leading you to something new, a new adventure, a new life, a new people, new away. Love it, love it, love it. I thought we were going to have to, I had a couple of decks here, but we're going to get some traditional tarot just because we have to. But I don't even think we need the energy cards and the other layer of, well, we'll see. Depends on what comes out this deck. But it's pretty clear the way they're lining up so far, I believe. Okay, 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. Oh, we had 2 6s there, but they didn't. I'm not pulling everything. I don't. Oh, what's this? Something flipped over. What do we got? The High Priestess and the Knight of Cups. Well, we're going to see if they come out again. Whoa. Ace of Wands. And this flipped up. This was one of the 6s and it flipped back out. So I guess that's where it wants to be. Hangman. That's odd the way these flipped. Okay. Yeah. Was there anything else that flipped? Nope. So those are the ones. Now what do we have? Okay. The only reason I think Up in the Air came out here is because it genuinely is up to you at this point. You can continue to resist. Resistance is futile, as they say. Or you can lean into the change and let it happen. You don't want to be different, but you are different. And you're going to become more different because you're supposed to. You're a divine masculine, whether you realize it or not. That, see, what they don't tell you with that awakening thing is that's not the end of the journey. You get to awakening, then you go through woke, and then awake. And if you continue to be curious and stay on the path and start getting yourself together and following those, you don't even know why you're following, but you're little by little, you're kind of thinning yourself out of the herd. And before you realize that you're on a spiritual trajectory, you don't know exactly what that looks like yet, but it'll come more to you. But I'm telling you, it's not as much. Yeah, you can get to the point where you're like me, a hermit stuck in the books and like seriously on down spiritual rabbit holes. But that's just because that's who I am. I'm a bookworm and I like that kind of stuff anyway. But it expresses itself in all kinds of ways. But the main thing here is where you at right now, you can't stay there. You just can't. You could work yourself into the ground with this. Look at this here. Look at it. Even if you get you a struggle buddy, this is life with a struggle buddy. Out in the cold. No, you ain't by yourself, but you hobbling along out in the cold. But 5 is a wake-up call. There's a fated meeting that can happen. But the way to ensure your fated meeting, and Spirit is telling you, you're setting a course for something different. There is a time factor here. But a message is incoming. A Queen of Pentacles is here on the horizon. It is about getting away from these. You're going to have to be a little bit sneaky to exit the matrix the way you want to, as unscathed as possible. I get it, because you're surrounded by crazies, probably. I mean, okay, that's no longer a politically correct word, but it's the appropriate word for a lot of the madness that we see. I see the descent into madness through television and social media, if nothing else. I see it. Like you said, if you go out to any kind of public events, malls, shopping, you see it every day. So I get it. You still want to, you gotta function in the world, but you're not truly of this world. You're being called to something different as a true divine ascended divine masculine on the path of ascension. You just don't know it yet, but there's an incoming gift. This Ace of Wands. You kind of sort of already wished this into being once upon a time. You probably kissed a lot of frogs, as they say, to get to a princess, because that works for men too. I get it. but you're headed out of these troubled waters. This despair thing, this isn't going to last. Everything else that was coming, this denotes kind of hidden information. You don't see it yet, but it's also clarified by the Six of Swords, leaving troubled waters, leaving rough waters, traveling to smoother waters. It does require a change of perspective. Hangman, that's on the spiritual journey through the major arcana. The hangman literally represents choosing to see it a different way. And that's truthfully how you heal a lot of that stuff. Because some of those people are never going to change. And as long as you stay upset and hurt and angry about it and stuck off in exile somewhere, well, you can choose to do that. But you can also realize you can learn to vibrate higher. And once you come out of your exile, you'll literally attract an entirely different bandwidth of people to you, including love, if you so choose. I believe you're going to choose, though, because this cutting away of the false person, this is the spiritual work. The Eight of Pentacles are monetary things and generally represent doing physical work, but it's also about putting in that energetic work to see the light, make those changes in your life. That is the work. The King of Swords is decisive. This is that Aquarius energy, that calm, cool, collected about your business, like I said, standing on business. But that's what's required to make it to the top of this mountain. But it's the change that is coming for you. And in the end, it's up in the air right now, but it doesn't have to stay that way. We got the Seven of Scrolls here. This is and the World card. So that, dear ones, is hey, looking much better on the back end than I thought it would. Like I said, than on the front. But we're gonna leave it off with one of these and see where we're going. And looks like we're gonna have a couple of them. What do we have? Trust your faith. Dive into the unfolding journey. What is your faith asking of you? Your purpose is personal expansion. How can you be more intentional with your choices and live with more purpose? This is not your practice life. Decide. What is your inner voice telling you about the dream in your heart? So exile served you a purpose. You cooked up some good stuff in your alone time. Step into your divergence. Get these pit vipers away from you and create. You're in that vital masculine Mars energy. Yes, you do need to balance it. Part of that spiritual journey is learning to balance that yin and yang energy and inviting in more of the yin. But while you're in this prime of your life, in this Mars energy, agree to peel back. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You don't have to fit in. You don't have to settle for less than because that's all that's on the menu. Just peel back from that a little bit and focus on you. Balance that and come out. And you know what? I had a friend of mine, a very toxic friend that I eventually cut off after whatever. But one of the discussions that we used to have all the time, and he said he was genuinely, we used to use the analogy of, do you want to wait to sit at the chef's table? Or are you satisfied with the food court sampler? Are you, like I said, a genuine foodie or just somebody stuffing your face? He's the type of person, he said he'll take the food court sampler. But my thing was, if you are willing to do without the food court sampler for just a little while, what they don't understand is you become a totally different person. By every time we interact with people, we entangle with energies. And when we have intimate relationships with people, we entangle with energies. And especially if we're learning karmic lessons and we're entangled with very karmic soulmates, and those bonds aren't still cut, either we still, hey, Look, ain't no judgment. We had the friends with benefits and the cuddy buddies and the pick them up at the clubs and the baby mamas and the exes that, the don't ask, don't tell, cuddy, but all of that. I understand. But in doing that, we stay entangled with those people. In making a choice to clear ourselves of that energy, you allow your energy to rise to a new plateau, and it likes it there. Our energy is literally, I think Abraham Hicks refers to it as a cork bobbing on the ocean or bobbing in the water. If you can hold the cork down, but when you let your finger off of it, it'll pop right on its own. Our energy is the same way. If we stop dirtying our lenses by allowing entanglements where we shouldn't, we will rise to another bandwidth and you'll meet a whole different caliber of people. And that's not a judgment against anyone. It's layers to the matrix. That's just the way it is. All people are the same, but all people are not the same. It depends on the programming they're around. And once you wake up and recognize and embrace your divergence, you'll understand you will never fit into where you've been trying to fit into, and the people that you want to connect with would never fit into that world anyway. You're the odd man out in all of that for a reason. You've learned from it, you've been shaped from it, you're going to heal from it, and you're going to cut it off and manifest from a cleaner space. And I believe when you do, you'll be gifted with incoming love that you deserve. I wanted to say a holy love because truthfully that's what it is. You will become the king that's going to attract the queen that you want. And that, dear ones, I hope that doesn't get me jacked up. I hope this is almost out of the shot because I didn't think to cover her up, and it's probably going to get me in trouble. But in any event, I hope it doesn't. And this was your reading. I love you. Peace and blessings to you. I hope you are blessed by this message. And until the next one, like I said, I will pull the soul work cards for that. But until then, family, namaste.